connected to iPhone.
Yo, what up, my man? I actually just woke up, yeah. Good with you, what's good with you, bro? It's kind of warm in the fucking studio right now, yo. What the fuck? My ear itching. Getting fucking hot up in this bitch fast. Walking Dead, boy. I don't know about them zombies. I don't know about them zombies. The zombie horde. Where's my fucking paper? Oh, shit. Oh, here it is. nice, yo. Still just working on the background a little bit. I'm gonna try to work my way behind her, behind the counter back there, and start working on this like it's a water jug, and work on this counterpart, and then work on the stove. Oh yeah. What? You say you can roll better than me. You crazy. You can roll better than me. I don't know how to roll. I don't know how to roll. Let me hold that shit. Let me see how to roll this motherfucker. Wait. Why did you stop YouTube? YouTube. Did I tell you to stop fucking playing YouTube? Fuck with me.
There's a reason you start.
What up, guys? Do we got Hitler in the stream? What the? I gotta go play Wolfenstein right now. I'm about to go play Wolfenstein right now. Kill me some fucking Nazis, man. What the fuck? Matthew, yes, this is my painting. Exile, what's up, man? I'm just looking at Adolf Hitler up in here. You know, where's my copy of Mein Kampf? You know what I'm saying? Hitler wasn't all that bad, you know. And, yeah, he wasn't all that bad, was he, guys? I mean, he was killing other white people, you know. That fucker's stupid. He said his name Adolf Hitler. I I should just name myself Jim Jones, motherfucking King Leopold II or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Fucking with Adolf Hitler. I need to be King Leopold. You know what I'm saying? So we in good standings. Right? Drop that on the floor. Oh shit, that mean I'm gonna start tracking paint through the house. I drop a little bit of paint on the carpet. I'm gonna get some of this burnt umber. Throw that right up there like bam. Then I'm gonna get some raw sienna. Cause that raw sienna is pretty. That's a pretty color. Oh yeah.
I love my new condo.
So no, I like it raw.
So me.
No, I like it raw. Oh,
they also wanted the condo. But you used Realtor.com. With more homes for sale updating in real time, you found the condo before these not used could.
You have a really loud whisper.
I think they heard us.
Find your dream home before not you finds it.
Realtor.com.
That Ragnarok, that shit was whack. And then somebody's like, "Oh, you gotta go see that new Thor?" Like, for one, honestly, I've missed so many of those movies. It's like you gotta catch each individual movie and then watch all of them like in order. Like, man, I can't keep up with all that DC shit, yo. I barely watch TV as it is, man. Y'all want me to keep up with fucking 6 or 7 different Marvel characters or DC characters with all their own storylines, and then they all come together and do movies together, and it's too much for me, man. Thor, Ragnarok. That shit was whack Arnold, yo. Brian, what's up, yo? Yeah, I don't even understand like what the plot of that movie is supposed to be. It's like some kind of contest or something, and Thor puts a team together for some arena shit. And it's Hulk. It's gonna go fight in some arena on some alien planet. No. So, what'd it do? Stacy. Yeah, I'm smoking Reggie. I'm smoking regular tobacco. You send me a deposit of $200 and I'll start painting your Jimi Hendrix. And then when the Jimi Hendrix is finished, you send me the remaining fees plus the shipping fees, and I'll send you your painting the Jimi Hendrix. I don't paint shit and then just be like, "Oh, are you gonna pay me for it?" What kind of world do you live in? You paint Jimi Hendrix, I'll buy it from you. Fuck out of here. Okay. My PayPal account is Travis Prince 81 at yahoo.com. When I see that $200 deposit from Brian D, I'll be like, boy, I better start painting this Jimi Hendrix now. This dude is serious. This man was not playing about that Jimi Hendrix. Boy, let me go ahead and pull out a canvas right now and start painting the motherfucking rock and roll legend himself. Let me light up this this regular tobacco. Nothing like a good cigarette.
There's power in owning whatever makes you different.
Success.
It's about perseverance.
Boldness.
Creativity is an amazing quality, and I think everybody has it.
Taylor about the fucking flex.
I sell more commissions than I sell my own art, yo. My own shit is a little bit more expensive than people can handle. So I'll do commissions cheaper. You know, if it's something you specifically want, I'll do it cheaper because it's just easier for me to do projects like that. For my own projects, you know, my own ideas and my own thought process goes into this shit. So I charge a little bit more for my own pieces. And plus my own art, they're normally on larger canvases and normally have like tons of detail in it, as you can see. You know what I'm saying? Like most commissions are way simple. So I just do them for less. Yeah, I sell art all the time. Trying to find some good beats, yo. These beats are fucking corny. Feel me? Yeah, that's me. As a matter of fact, alright, they don't sound too bad, yo. I like that shit. Yeah, that shit really sweet, right? That's part of a series. That's a 3-part series I did called The Writer. So it's self-portraits on a black background with that harsh light, and then each canvas has a different poem written on it. And so there's 3 different canvases with 3 different poems. That series turned out pretty nice. I like that shit, yo. Yeah, check out my follow my Instagram and my Facebook page, because I'm gonna be doing some challenges I just did a challenge not too long ago. Somebody won. Somebody actually figured the challenge out, and they won a drawing I did of them, just like a little portrait drawing, and I'll send it to you. So periodically, I always try to put a challenge out there, something educational, like a word search or something like that, that involves my art, but it also involves you learning something throughout the process of trying to complete the challenge. And so there's definitely another really good challenge that I have coming up, and it involves the Writer series, which is pretty fucking cool, yo. Yo, konnichiwa. You know what I'm saying? Yo, thanks, man. I always try to find that cool vibing ass music. Yo, can you tell me what this says, yo? Huh? You know what that say, yo? No? You don't know what that shit say, man. Oh, that's Chinese. I speak Japanese. Nip nip. So what I was gonna say is about my challenges. So yeah, subscribe to my social media so you can have access to my catalog of art, because when I give out challenges, you're gonna have to look through my art to figure out some of these questions. All of my social media sites are Paintings by the Prince. My last name is actually Prince, and I make paintings. It kind of just seems obvious, you know, Paintings by the Prince. So you can go on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Tumblr, and follow me up there. And so when I do say, hey, you know, check out this painting to look for this clue, you can go to fucking Instagram or Facebook or whatever and find that piece of art. And so you can have clues to help figure out the challenge. So maybe you can win a portrait drawing from me sometime in the future. No, I cannot see your picture. Tyson from New York. What's up, man? Where are you from? Where are you from, yo? Yo, Cog, that's what it is, yo. Yeah, on the road to 1,000 subscribers. This is actually going a lot faster than I really ever thought it would. I'm like at almost 700 followers right now, so apparently at 1,000 subscribers you can start getting sponsorships and different things like that. I'm gonna really try to format this show a little bit better and present it to you guys more like, you know, a real show. But art and education. I've been doing this stream for about 2 years, but I started on Ustream because I stream from the PlayStation. Right here I have the PS4 Pro, iPhone, laptop, and I'll pull the tablet out. And so this is basically my digital multimedia center here. And so when I first started streaming on the PlayStation, I used Ustream, but Ustream got so raunchy and out of hand that Sony Entertainment like cut ties with Ustream, and they was like, yo, we don't want to fuck with y'all no more. And so they did away with Ustream, and I was just like, oh, I guess I'll use YouTube. And so I've been on YouTube for about a year now, and it's fucking dope, yo. I meet people from everywhere, like Tony from New York, who just moved to North Carolina. You know what I'm saying? He moves from one end state to another end state. You know he must be an N-word. That's not racist. I'm gonna just stop right there. I'm from South Carolina. We'll come back to that. But Tony from New York. But yo, Jeffrey, what's up, man? Oh no, the grind never stops, bro. But yeah, definitely. Yeah, always. If this is your first time in here, yo, just sub to the channel, hit the notification button so you can always know when I'm in here. Like I say, I already have a challenge set up. It's in my mind. I just want to get enough people in here, maybe like 30 people, 35 people, to give the challenge to, so that there is, you know, just more people to actually participate, so that it's more competition who can figure it out first. And I actually I should have tried it out on my girlfriend. I said I was going to try it out on my girlfriend first to make sure that the challenge can be completed, but I did it myself, like, and I walked myself through it, and it was a little bit challenging because it's like, is this what I'm supposed to be looking for? Maybe it is. So, but it was really not that hard, so I was able to figure it out, and racist. You're gonna get a lot of that, Tony. A lot of it. But yeah, I definitely want to do another challenge because the picture I just did for the challenge I just did for someone actually went to Melbourne, Australia, which is fucking cool as shit. So now, you know, one of my viewers who I'm really cool with was able to answer a fucking tough ass question and got a free piece of art, and now I have a piece of art in fucking Australia. It's a win-win. Billy. My bad, Tyson. How much for my art? It all depends on if you want a commission or if you want to purchase a piece of my own art. My commissions start at $400, and my standard size canvas is an 18 by 24 inch canvas. Now you can go up in canvas size. Of course, if you want a larger canvas, the project is going to cost more. And that $400 starting fee is just a starting price. Normally a commission for me will cost you around $500 or $600, but I say $400 just to let you know, like, I won't do anything for less than $400. And it's very rare that a picture I receive is simple enough for me to just do it for a even $400, but sometimes it is, you know. Yeah, my IG and Facebook and Twitter, Tumblr, everything is the exact same title, Paintings by the Prince. I keep telling people my name is actually Prince. And of course I make paintings. So it's very easy to remember. You want to check my stuff out, just Paintings by the Prince. And that's everywhere. Like, I always use the same title. Like, it's nothing different. Like I say, you can go on anything. Tumblr, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, DeviantArt. You type in Paintings by the Prince, I'll come up. You can fucking Google me now. That shit is weird as fuck, yo. I Googled just my regular name and artist. Travis Prince, artist. And, like, all kind of shit came up. I'm like, who the fuck is doing this shit? And then, like, in the past week, I've been listening to a lot of people in the field of artificial intelligence and how these new algorithms are working, like Alexa and Siri and all of this shit, you know what I'm saying? And it's weird as fuck, like, that now, and Google is fucking buying up all of these fucking AI firms. They bought up, Google bought General Dynamics. Y'all know that? They bought General Dynamics, and they bought Deep Learning. Yo, Google is on some shit, and so now it's just like, I just Googled my name, and like all this shit popped up, like, what the fuck? That shit was fucking crazy. Oh, word, bro. But yeah, this is like I'm saying, so my prices are really different for commissions. Ooh, don't do it like that. Don't do it like that. But like I say, sometimes commissions are just easier, whereas my own paintings, they're you can, here, I'll show you. This is a 36 by 48 inch canvas, so you can see it just compared in size with me, how tall it stands, you know what I'm saying, and how wide it is. So these are some very large canvases. And my own personal art is really, really detailed. You know. So for pieces like this, oh, yeah, that's a $5,500 painting right there. So yeah, if you want my own art, if you want one of my own original paintings that I did for myself, that I came up with by myself, you're gonna have to kick out some money for that shit. Now, if you want me to just paint a picture of you or your girlfriend or your dog or something like that, something that I didn't have to think of, something that I didn't have to, physically take a picture of myself and do all that stuff, then yeah, I can paint that for you cheaper. But for my stuff, most of my shit, like that right there is a $5,000 painting. This painting right here is $2,500. That piece right there is $1,800. But these are for the originals. These aren't any prints or copies or anything. These are original paintings. This one right here is $5,500. And so I keep a lot of my originals for a long time because people don't want to kick out for it. But you can see too, like this one, I had it in the show a couple months ago, and it won Best of Show for the Scranton Friends Festival. So it is recognized, that I am the best of the best when I'm put up in the jury competition, with local artists who are college educated, because I have a art degree, and I have been at the Philadelphia Museum of Natural. Who gives a fuck? You go against my shit, and I still get Best of Show. You know what I'm saying? And I'm self-taught. You know what I'm saying? But it's just that people don't want to kick out for that price. So they know the quality of work is there. They know the level of detail and precision is there. It's just like, I'm not buying this black dude shit. It's too black. I don't want to put that in my home. Jose Carlos, what's up, man? That's the bum. I need to work on this piece for a little while. Honestly, I might run and grab me a drink, man. I'm in here running my mouth and talking. I'm getting cotton mouth like a bitch right now. Yeah, it's all good, man, because I'm gonna make a mark. You know what I'm saying? People will see me regardless, and it's gonna be because y'all help. From other regular people who already recognize the talent. The word of mouth, it'll get around. You know what I'm saying? And the right people will see it. And then I'll be like, well, I got art at the Philadelphia Museum of this bitch. So what? And I don't have no degrees from university. Lord, what it do, man? Yo, Cento, I get that all the time. You look like Snoop. Are you Snoop Dogg's son? Trust me, if I was Snoop Dogg's son, my studio would be a hell of a lot bigger than this. Not the Savage. All right, Brian. Yo, that's what's up, critics. Yeah, guys, let me go grab a drink real quick, y'all. I'm fucking parched, yo. everybody looks like Snoop Dogg, you know? I get vitamin water. What the fuck? Yo, I hate these pants because they don't have pockets on them. So I can never remember how I fucking set shit down because I can't put it in my pockets that I don't have. Where the hell did I put that lighter? Come on, lighter. Oh, shit fell on the floor. Yo, Jeffrey.
I want to offer my employees the best health benefits, and I also want to stick to a budget. So I partnered with a health insurer that can make it happen.
Oh yeah, you know it. That's the only show I watch, yo. I don't watch TV. I don't watch nothing else but The Walking Dead, yo. Oh, bruh. I ain't gonna say nothing about it. This shit getting crazy, dog. This shit getting real crazy, yo. The Walking Dead getting real crazy. Yes, you know, Sunday nights at 9 o'clock, I gotta be right there, yo. Other than that, fuck TV. I make my own TV. You know what I'm saying? I watch other people stream. I'd rather watch people play video games and listen to fucking documentaries. You know, I'll get on Netflix every once in a while and try to find something up there to watch, but other than that, I can't hardly sit through commercials. Fuck that shit, yo. The Walking Dead is the only show that is written well enough and can keep me captivated enough for an hour for me to sit through fucking actual commercials. Like, I swear, yo. Hope you got your shitting pants on. Huh? I hope you got your shitting pants on, cause you about to shit your pants. Oh my god, yo. And they ain't never go back to Negan since then, yo. Like, what the fuck, yo? Cold turkey. What? Oh my god, yo. Yo, The Walking Dead is still the fucking shit. Some people's like, oh, it's the same shit. They find a place, it gets overrun. They find a place, it gets overrun. They find a place. Yeah, that's about it. That's basically the whole show. You know what I'm saying? You know, finding somewhere, you settle in, it gets overrun, you run into some bad guys, you kill the bad guys, you find, and it's like that. But it's still a good show. It's a good format. It works. It works. You know what I'm saying? And the writing is good. You know, it's not corny as like punchlines and catchphrases and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's really, really well written. And they put fucking scenarios in there, and I drag it through the ringer sometimes too. Like, was it the first or second episode when they were outside the base shooting at each other? And I said that shit, and then the guy on the Talking Dead said the exact same thing. I'm like, they're shooting at each other. I'm like, yo, nobody's dying. All these bullets are flying. Nobody's reloading their clips or anything. Like, come on, Walking Dead. Be a little bit more realistic than that. And then during the Talking Dead, the dude was like, yo, y'all had some real Star Wars shootouts going on in there. And it was like, yeah, we had to kind of stretch it out a little bit. But I was like, you know, you catch the show and sometimes where it's like, come on, that's hokey as shit, yo. But for the most part, yo, it's better written than a lot of other shit on TV. The last show that really had me like that was Breaking Bad. And I watched every episode of Breaking Bad. That shit was fucking badass, yo. That was an awesome ass show. Breaking Bad was the fucking shit, yo. But I don't know. Like, right now, I just don't be fucking, you know, buying merchandise like this and shit. I love the fucking Walking Dead, yo. The Wire, that shit was savage. Yo, the Savage. Wire was savage as shit, yo. Yeah. I remember that shit. The Corner too, man. A lot of people don't remember The Corner, yo. It was kind of like The Wire, but that shit was crazy. The Last of Us 2. That shit don't come out till next year though. Yeah, that drawing is already shipped off to Australia, yo. That shit been shipped off a couple days ago. Yeah, and the Negan, yeah, compared to the governor, that's what I said too. Like the governor was a pretty bad dude, but when the governor killed people, he was serious, and he was like, he was murdering people, that shit was bad. But when Negan kills motherfuckers, this motherfucker is laughing while he doing that shit. And that shit it caught me off guard. Like, and I couldn't, at first I didn't realize like what made him so much different. But it's like, he is the only person so far in this entire series that has laughed at killing somebody, who has made jokes about this shit. Like, he is joking about killing people. You know what I'm saying? And that shit is psychotic, even, and especially in the world of The Walking Dead. Like, motherfucker, you are absolutely fucking crazy. Like, you, but he makes it entertaining, and as weird as shit is like, the governor character, like, personally, I hated the fucking governor. Like, he played that role so well, like, I just hated that character. Like, fuck you, governor, and your Woodbury ass shit. But then, like, Negan, he's a bad guy, but it's like, fuck you, Negan. You're kind of cool. You're cool as shit, but you're still the bad guy, and you shouldn't be so cool as a bad guy, man. I got mixed feelings about you, Negan, but fuck you, because you're the, you know what I'm saying, you're the protagonist. Am I saying that right? Hey, Miss Davis. You sure asking some personal questions. Where you from? Everybody in the stream, drop your state. Except Tyson from New York. We already know you live in North Carolina now. Everybody else, what state y'all in? Because Miss Davis want to know where people live at and where everybody's from. Texas, you know what I'm saying? Yo, everybody from Texas up in this shit, yo. That's what it is. All these Cowboy fans. My aunt used to live in Texas for a little while. Tried to get me to come out there one summer. I was like, hey, I'm not coming to no motherfucking Texas. The Lone Star State. I heard on the Steers and Quitters. I'm gonna stop right there. How tall are you, son? I'm 5'9", sir. 5'9". What are you trying to do? Squeeze an inch out of me? What'd he say? I didn't know they stacked shit that high. Where are you from? Texas. she's... Girl, where all these personal questions coming from? Hey man, I'm just a local TV show host. You all in my business. Damn. I'm from South Carolina, and my girlfriend is downstairs playing Elder Scrolls Online. Like a nerd. God. She's on that game like. And in this guild, I just sold a perfect roll for 25,000 gold, and I almost got 100,000 gold, and I'm going to buy this piece of furniture for this one house that I just got. And I'm like, Elder Scrolls Online, you have corrupted my girlfriend. Give her back to me. And I just brought some crowns from the online store, and I'm going to use my crowns, and I'm going to build this new piece of armor, because I just finished this Ritz, and now I can craft elven armor. Why are you talking like this, woman? What is wrong with you? She's always talking about spells and potions and shit and crafting armor and guilds. It's like... That's what I'm saying. Yo, I'm an Elder Scrolls fan. I love Bethesda in their games, man. But, you know, Elder Scrolls Online didn't make Skyrim better. It didn't make the Elder Scrolls universe better for me. And I keep thinking, like, should I? Because I have my own copy now. Like, I should play with her sometimes. But it's like, I don't really need to play that type of game online with other people and just go, like, farm a dungeon and shit. Like, I don't want to do that. That's just like Metal Gear Solid. And when they started putting that shit online, I didn't necessarily have to play that online. You know, like that didn't make the game better. But calm down, calm down, calm down. Good evening, son. How are you doing? Well, it don't even matter, man. People like real people, yo. So as soon as you say something that's not real and somebody look into it and be like, oh, that nigga's lying. You know, and then that stigmatism stick with you. Like Rick Ross always talking about, oh, put your keys in this. Motherfucker, you as a correctional guard at a prison, like you help hold niggas in jail. Like, get the fuck out of here. Really. You know what I'm saying? Like, when people look into your fucking background and they gonna say, are you real the whole time? Was you always true to yourself? Or did you hype that shit up? Did you fake it until you make it? And then, like, even my, your boy goddamn, oh my God, J. Cole said that shit. J. Cole said most people fake it till they make it. He said, I made it, then I faked it. You know what I'm saying? I got money and I act like I don't have money. It's not like, y'all, oh, I told y'all I had this car and that car, and they never really had that shit. You know what I'm saying? Some people you just gotta be real with yourself. That shit whatever you say gonna stick with you. I keep trying to tell you that. You already know my opinion on it. You know how it's more exciting. You get older and you live life and you learn more stuff and you experience more things. You're 13. You're not going to have a lot to talk about. And that's just all it is. That's all there is to it. You got to have more life experiences to be able to express. Pay attention more. Pay attention to life more. Your own actions. Other people's actions. Pay attention to the news and media and what's going on more, and not exactly what's fad and trendy. and stick to your own guts and just be your own self, and don't try to hype yourself up more than what it is, because it's gonna stick with you. I'm on YouTube right now. Let me finish my show and I'll talk to you later. Did you finish watching those videos I sent you? You see what I'm saying? The dude, he looked crazy, but he makes sense, right? Yeah, it makes sense, and that's why, like I say, if you get into that Bible stuff, do historical research. I know everybody got feelings about God, life, death, afterlife, and all that stuff, but do more research into those religions too. Yeah, from the only other person who references Jesus outside of the Bible is Josephus Flavian, and I'll send you some information on him, and he's not credible. Josephus is not credible as a historian. And tell your teacher that the only reference of Jesus outside of the Bible or the Quran, which is the same religious text that uses the same books and stories as the Bible, is Josephus Flavian. And it's been proven over and over and over that he used that to manipulate certain situations, certain social situations, just at the time that he was living. And you can tell him that the fucking the Dead Sea Scrolls will even point that shit out. So no, you can't historically prove that Jesus was a living person. You can't do it. No. Yeah. Let me get back to the show, and I'll talk to you later. All right. I love you. Bye. What? Galt. Okay. What's your problem, Galt? Ethiopia, monk, prove it. Prove it what? That Jesus was real? Some dude from Ethiopia to prove that Jesus was real? Well, maybe uh some man who was, ultra in touch with the fine tunings of nature, and the harmony of the oneness of the infinite consciousness. Yes, there have been many Buddhas, the awakened ones. There's lots of them, you know what I'm saying, who have taught and given wise messages and tried to pull people closer to spirituality and the understanding of the oneness. But is this like, some so God impregnated a human woman? So we're talking like Zeus and Hercules, right? Whoa, wait a minute, but Zeus and Hercules is fake, because that's myth. That's mythology, right? That could never happen. A god could never impregnate a woman. Well, that's okay. So the Bible says God impregnated a woman and gave birth to his son, which was kind of him in the flesh, but not really, but it was, to walk the earth, right? And so he does all these miracles and shit, and then he dies for your sins. He was crucified. But, you know what I'm saying, God says, everybody should be good and holy and loving, and plus God supposed to know everything too, right? So if everybody's supposed to be good and loving, and they know this the Son of God, so why didn't they stop the crucifixion But if they would have stopped the crucifixion, then he couldn't have died, and then you wouldn't be able to redeem yourself for your sins. But then you still gotta confess through your mouth that he's your savior, and it just don't. A lot of this shit don't make no sense. You know what I'm saying? This shit don't make no sense, yo. It's that whole story is fucking has been retold over and over and over from Serapis to Krishna to motherfucking Horus to motherfucking Gilgamesh, goddamn the Jesus story. They're all the same stories. Basically the same things happening to all these fucking deities in all these different cultures, and it's the same fucking story. But you'll say, oh well, you can't believe those stories, even though they're older than the Hebrew books or scriptures. You know what I'm saying? These stories are older, and they have, these divine characters with these same exact attributes of a virgin birth, working miracles, dying and resurrecting after 3 days. The story is not unique to Jesus. But I don't see how people can just cherry pick and say, oh, the Jesus story is the one true story because Jesus was a real man and he walked the earth. No. So it's kind of weird. So that's why I just tell my son, just to research, read. I got tons of literature. Anytime you want a source reference, anytime you want some source references and some books to read, I always tell them, man, I can point you in the right direction. Do that research first, and then you formulate an opinion after you've done enough research. Yeah, makes sense. Oh yeah.
Hi, I'm Frankie Shaw, creator of the TV show Smilf.
You're somebody's mom. That is just nuts.
The show takes place in Boston. We have a really great cast.
Boston. No, I don't know about the LGBO tribes. I'm not even sure how to say that.
Taylor bought the fucking flex.
legends. See, the scholars, they've done their research on the Igbo tribe, extensive research. And they've compared the traditions of the Igbo tribe and they've matched them up to the biblical traditions of the Israelites. And they said, whoa, these are strikingly similar. The only way that these people could be practicing the Hebraic faith this close is if they were the biblical Israelites themselves. So you may ask yourself, what is the significance of the Igbo tribe to the so-called Negro in the Americas? When you do the research, what you're going to find out is that the Igbo tribe is one of the main sought-out tribes that were captured and sold in the transatlantic slave trade and came right here to America. The British were the major buyers before they banned their own slave traffic in 1807. They were replaced by the Portuguese and the Spanish for as long as the traffic continued here. The majority of the captives were speakers of Igbo dialects.
You can hear me clearly, Rabbi. Let us have your name once more.
My name is Rabbi Yehuda ben Shomer.
Okay. Well, is it okay if we just call you Yehuda?
Yeah, that's fine.
Today?
Yeah, that's fine. No problem at all. I'll go on even further to say this, that the slave trade is actually connected to Deuteronomy 28 because the majority of the slaves that were...
I can't really listen to a lot of this shit that correlates, actual history to these biblical texts, man. Like I said, I try to... The Bible is good for what it is, but if you want to... When people try to, the 12 tribes, you know what I'm saying? The truth... All this shit don't matter to me, man. All I know is motherfucking Africa was destroyed from the outside. From whatever tribe. You know what I'm saying? From whatever nation you was from. You know what I'm saying? Because the whole continent of Africa has been called Ethiopia at one time. It's been called Al-Kibalan at one time. You know what I'm saying? Egypt has had so many different names over the years. And the simple fact is, external forces came into Africa and destroyed everything and rearranged a lot of things. And what I've been realizing over the past couple years is that during European chattel slavery in the 15 and 1600s, most of the slaves from West Africa were sent to the islands in the Caribbean, in the Bahamas, and a lot of the slaves that were from the continental U.S. in the southern states were actually captured in North America, dark-skinned people that were already here, not coming from Africa, but were already here on this continent. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, trust me, dude. I'll show you just how. I don't know how. Let's see if I can grab this. Going to my super old ass archive files. I have some old documentaries somewhere. Okay. Curses. I had some other stuff that are just like, bro, trust me, this shit is old. Like, had this DVD, like, no exaggeration, like 10 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Already I already did a lot of research on all the tribes and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, I choose not to do too much historical research based on the Bible, you know.
Hotep African family. For those who don't know, Hotep means peace in the ancient Kemetic tongue. Today's lecture is entitled, The Verdict is In. Sister Shirley kind of gave me that idea.
I've never listened to this lecture before. I've listened to this speaker, Ray Hagins. I've listened to several lectures from him. He actually gives one really, really, really good talk about the King Arthur. No, not Arthur. The King Alfred plan. And actually, he was the first person who ever you know, gave that information that I ever heard. Like, I was like, what the fuck? The King Alfred plan? And so I started looking into all the shit that he said, and it was like, holy fucking shit, this dude just dropped the truth bomb on me. And he gives several other really, really good talks, but this has a title right here, Dr. Ray Hagen's The Bible Origins. The verdict is in. I've never heard this before, but we're going to check it out right now and see what he says.
When I was doing this the other night, the verdict is in. What does that mean? That means that a whole lot of thought has been out there. A whole lot of contemplation has been out there. Okay? And the verdict is in. The verdict is in because the evidence speaks for itself. I pray that in today's presentation that you will see where the theft of Africa took place. I pray that you will see how the Europeans went in to Kemet, copied, stole, plagiarized, and represented our own story back to us under their ethnicity. Let me start by telling you how I came into all this. After a combined total of approximately 30 years of pastoring, and what I mean by combined total, I mean that I was pastoring 2 churches. And you take the years from both churches and put them together, it would have been about 30 years of pastoral experience. And a group of brothers invited me to a meeting, a black economic empowerment meeting, not a theology meeting, an economic empowerment meeting. What can we as black folk do to empower ourselves economically? And we had a good little forum of brothers there. I overheard this one brother say Jesus' real name was Horus. The original Christ's name was Horus. I completely forgot what we met for. I immediately stepped to this brother. He wasn't even talking to me. I stepped over to him in combat readiness. Ex-Marine. And I was ready to actually fight this brother. And I said, excuse me, man, what did you say? And when I'm really upset, one of my eyebrows kind of like goes up, you know. And he said, about what, brother? I said, you said something about Horus. And I thought he was saying H-O-R-A-C-E. Never heard of Horus, H-O-R-U-S, before. And I told him, Satan, the Lord rebuke you. The blood of Jesus is against you. You're an evil one. You come to hinder, but God bind you in the name of Jesus. The name of Jesus. And not only did I blast this brother, I blasted all of the brothers that were present in the room because I felt all of them were agents of Satan. I felt it was my duty to protect my community from these black men who look like me. I'm so glad that they had patience on my ignorance. Oh man, about 3 years later, I was coming out of City Hall in Patterson, New Jersey, and there was this old bookstore there called Bazaar Books. And I grew up looking at this store, passed it thousands of times, never moved to go in it. But this particular day, I was moved to go in this store, and I did. And when I stepped inside, I said to the brother, I said, man, listen, where's your religion and philosophy section? So he pointed me to it, and I went there, and the books were just in a pile. It was a used bookstore. And as I began to go through the pile, I came upon this book called Osiris and the Egyptian Resurrection. Now, what's deep about this is, when I saw Egyptian Resurrection, I said, what the hell is this? What kind of resurrection is is Egyptian resurrection. The only resurrection I've ever heard about in my life was the resurrection of Jesus Christ and the resurrection of me and everybody else who believed on him. And I was looking forward to that resurrection so I could be caught up. I opened the cover of this book, and here's what it said. Anyone who has your Bible, please turn to 1 Corinthians 15, verses 50 through 55. All right? I have Minister Mitchell. She's going to help read these passages for you. But I want you to see it in your Bible if you have it. When I opened the inside cover of this book, here's what it said. And you see it here on the screen. It said, the central figure of the ancient Egyptian religion was Osiris. And the chief fundamentals of his cult were the belief in his divinity, death, resurrection, and absolute control of the destinies of the bodies and souls of men. I'm already messed up. The central point of each Osirian's religion was his hope of resurrection. Y'all see it? His hope of resurrection in a transformed body and of immortality, which can only be realized by him through the death and resurrection of Osiris. Now, I messed up, y'all, because I have been preaching this for almost 20 years. But it wasn't about Osiris. It's about that dude. This blonde-haired, blue-eyed guy who we've all been taught to call who? Jesus. Now, Minister Mitchell, if you would please read 1 Corinthians 15, verses 50 through 55. What does it say?
Now this I say, brethren.
Now this I say, brethren.
That flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of God.
Yes.
Neither does corruption inherit incorruption.
Right.
Behold, I show you a mystery. We shall not all sleep.
Before you go any further, have y'all heard this before?
Yes.
Okay, read on.
But we shall all be changed.
Right.
In a moment, in the twinkling of an eye. At the last trumpet. For the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible.
Incorruptible, yes.
And we shall be changed.
And we shall be changed. Changed from mortal to what? Immortal. You got it. Immortality. We used to sing that when I was growing up. Changed from mortal to immortality in the twinkling of an eye. Y'all know that? We shall be changed. Here it is. Hope of resurrection in a transformed body. But again, I'm thinking it's this character here. Now, this is some deep stuff because it says here, the Egyptians. Now, I was raised to see the Egyptians as sinners. All through the Bible, Egypt is the place of sin. The Bible exhorts you, come out of Egypt. Don't go back to Egypt. Here's what it says. Egypt possessed conceptions of truth, justice, and righteousness. Y'all see it? According to these, the life everlasting in heaven. You mean the ancient Africans talked about going to heaven when they died? See, that's the number one question you're going to get asked when you make your transformation. They're going to ask you, but where you going to go when you die? Let them know the same place ancient Africans been saying all the time, that the white man stole from us. And they call it heaven. And the kingdom of Osiris could only be attained by those who had done what? Lived righteous lives upon earth and who had been declared to be speakers of the truth in the judgment hall of Osiris. In the judgment hall of Osiris. Now, that's some deep stuff. The Egyptians set truth speaking above all other virtues, and in the great judgment. You mean tell me the ancient Africans talked about a great judgment? Yes, they did. In fact, brothers and sisters, it's 22, 27. Turn quickly. I got a lot of pictures to go through, and I'm moving so slow I'm going to run out of time, so I got to move real quick. John 5:22. I'll quote it for you. For the Father judges no man. I think that's what it says, right? What is it going to say?
For the Father judges no man.
Yes.
But have committed all judgment on
But have committed all judgment to the Son. What does the 27th verse say?
And have given him authority to execute judgment also.
And have given the Son authority to execute judgment also. How about 2 Corinthians 5 and 10? Second Corinthians 5th chapter 10th verse.
For we must all appear before the judgment seat of Christ.
For we must all appear before the judgment seat of who?
Christ.
Who?
Christ.
How many of y'all grew up hearing that?
Yes.
Okay, now this is some deep stuff. Because that's what the biblical text says, but this is where they got it from. Now this is a pictograph. And in this pictograph you see Osiris dressed in white. In this pictograph his face is white too, by the way. I'm going to mess you up in a minute. And you also see the person being judged standing before Osiris at the great white throne. Now, not only is he standing there, but he has the scales upon his shoulders. They took that and put it in the Bible. Who was it? Nebuchadnezzar, one of the kings, and the dream, the interpreter said, it means, TKL, something, the writing on the wall means you've been weighed in the balances and found, who knows what the rest said? Wanting, thank you. You see, it had to come from here because there was no Nebuchadnezzar. Here you have the brother being judged, the pig, the swine, on the boat represents Set or Satan, which became Satan in European theology. Here you have the 9 gods, or representing the 9 levels of life. And those of you who know anything about numerology, you know that when you get to the number 9, you have reached the pinnacle, and at that point, you go into the summum bonum, or the supreme good. That's a pictograph. There it is on the wall. That's what I'm talking about. It's another thing to go and examine the temples and tombs and see where they got it from. What color is Osiris there, y'all? What color? Thank you. Why? Because the word Osiris means Lord of the perfect black. Well, the spread of the cult was rapid both in Upper Egypt and in the Delta. And by the way, don't get messed up by the word cult. See how they got all our thinking? We think the word cult means something bad. The word cult simply means that's the way people do things. Cult is the root word of culture. Cult is the root word of cultivate. You follow what I'm saying? Because no other cult offered to its adherents the hope of the resurrection and immortality. Now this is some good stuff. Notice what it says about Osiris. His human nature, they thought, enabled his human nature. His human nature. Okay? This is where they stole the idea of the 2 natures of Jesus. His divine nature and his human nature. His human nature, they thought, enabled him to understand the needs, troubles, and griefs of men and listen sympathetically to their prayers, and his his divine nature gave him powers to help them in this world and in the next, which no other ancestor God ever possessed. Y'all see that? Read Hebrews 4:15.
For we have not a high priest.
For we don't have a high priest.
Which cannot be touched with the
feelings of our infirmities.
But was in all points tempted like as we are.
And why were we taught that Jesus was tempted in all points like us? Because of his human nature. Yet without sin because of his divine nature. Look at the person next to you. Now, I know I'm getting ready to mess with somebody, but y'all didn't come for me to play with you at this time. So let me say it like this. Look at the person next to you and say, Jesus didn't exist. So they got this human and divine nature from somebody else. Please understand that. They stole it from Africa. They stole our story and put their ethnicity on it. In addition to Osiris, and see, a lot of people tell you that Africans were polytheistic. They say the Africans, the Egyptians, worshiped many gods. Not true. It tells you here, the Egyptians paid divine honors, not worship, divine honors to the sun god, the moon god, the air god, the water god, the sky god, the earth god, the Nile god, and to a host of spirits of whom we know the names of about 3,000. Now, when people read that, they say, see all them gods Africans worship. But yet I can say Jehovah Rapha, Jehovah Nisi. You get the picture? And anybody got a problem with it? Only thing the Africans did is they acknowledged the attributes of God that were manifested in various aspects of creation. What relation all these gods and spirits bore to each other and to Osiris is not at first clear, and it is the realization of the existence of these which has induced some writers to declare that the Egyptian religion was nothing but a polytheistic cult. And yet it was not. It says, for the Egyptians believed in the existence of one great God, self-produced, self-existent, almighty, and eternal, who created the gods, not angels. You don't find the word angels in African theology. Okay? The heavens and the sun, moon, and stars, and them, and the earth, and everything on it, including man, beast, bird, fish, and reptile. They believed that he maintained in being everything which he had created, and that he was the support of the universe and Lord of it all. So you see, brothers and sisters, the ancient Africans only believed in one great God. What's really deep about it is, it says here, on rare occasions in which he is mentioned in their writings, he is always called Nectar. Meaning God, and besides this he.
I guess it's not, but yeah, oh shit. Yo, one force. The Egyptians never deal with writing hieroglyphics. So who created hieroglyphics? Where did the writing come from if the Egyptians didn't do it?
In which he is mentioned in their writings, he is always called Nectar. Great God. What's really deep about it is, it says here, on rare occasions in which he is mentioned in their writings, he is always called Nectar. Great God. What's really deep about it is, it says here, on rare occasions in which he is mentioned in their writings, he is always called Nectar. Meaning God, and besides this he has no name. The ancient Africans once, they didn't try that stuff. They did not try to get into arguments over the name of God. Because they knew. What does Acts 7:20-22 say? Now this is deep stuff, y'all. What does it say?
In which time?
Yeah, from things like when the conquerors came in, there's writings from different periods that say the same thing, such as like the Rosetta Stone and shit like that, that lets you know it's the, it's one inscription but written in different languages. We have the same thing here in America now. If you go to Georgia, there's the Georgia Guidestones, and they give a message, and it's written in like 6 different fucking languages. So you probably can't read Mandarin Chinese, but if you can read English, you can probably figure out what the Chinese says if it's the exact same thing, So hieroglyphics, there is a basis for understanding what they say.
Time Moses
was born.
Who?
Moses.
Moses was born and what?
And was exceeding fair.
And was exceeding fair.
And nourished up in his father's house.
And nourished up in his father's house 3 months. And what happened?
And when he was cast out.
Now, before you go any further, let me help you. Moses didn't exist either. Okay? But it's a part of their story. I'm going to show you. We're going to get to Moses in a minute, okay? But their story created a guy called Moses. And it tells you, according to their story, in the 7th chapter of Acts, verses 20-22, it goes on to say he was exceeding fair, raised up in his father's house 3 months, and what happened?
And when he was cast out.
And when he was cast out, what happened?
Pharaoh's daughter took him up.
Pharaoh's daughter took him up.
And nourished him for her own son.
And nourished him for her own son. And then what does it say? Now check this out. What does it say?
And Moses was learned in all the wisdom of the Egyptians.
And Moses, the one that they told you had a speech impediment. The one that they told you couldn't speak clearly, so Aaron had to do the talking for him. Ain't that what y'all was taught? Well, notice what it says here in Acts. It says he was mighty. Well,
in words
and in deeds. Contradiction. Oh, it's getting ready to get real good now. Osiris, those who can see it, what does it say? Was the great word. Y'all see that? Osiris. Turn to John 1:1.
In the beginning was the Word.
In the beginning was the Word. How is word spelled there?
Capital W.
Capital W-O-R-D. In the beginning was the Word. Go ahead.
And the Word was with God.
And the Word was with God. And the Word was God. Third verse, what does it say?
All things were made by him, and without him was not anything made.
Y'all see what's happening here? Do you see what's happening here? Let me read about Osiris, the story that existed at least 10,000 years before John 1:1. Osiris was the great word. In other words, Osiris, the word, capital W-O-R-D, spake the words through which all things in heaven came into being from non-existence. Read that third verse again.
All things were made by him.
All things were made by him.
And without him.
And without him
was not anything
made that was made. Now that's some deep stuff. Y'all see the theft of it?
Yeah.
It's a perfect copy. Look at the bottom here. It talks about Osiris. Osiris was the first man who raised himself from the dead.
Yeah.
10,000 years BC at least. What does Acts 26 and 23 say?
That Christ should suffer, and that he should be the first that should rise from the dead, and should show light unto the people and to the Gentiles.
Now, who rose from the dead first? Well, let's put it this way. This is 10,000 years early. Now, if there's going to be a first, I would say it would be the African story. Okay? Osiris is the typical God man. Now, before y'all get too deep into this, am I preaching Osiris? No. I'm trying to show you where they stole their story from. You follow what I'm saying? Because the truth of the matter is, Osiris didn't exist either. It's all myth. It's stories. Allegory. Thank you. But my point is, the first story was ours. It was African. Look at this brother. Everybody say Narmer. Pharaoh. They can't even date this dude. Now, one of the things that I'm telling y'all right now, everything you see about Egypt is going to have to be, if you get it from their books, from the internet, whatever, it's going to have to say this side of 4004 BC. That's right. Everything you read about Egypt, when you read about Narmer, and they can't even date this dude, okay? He was the first pharaoh before the first dynasty, okay? Pharaoh Narmer. Older than 4004. But the reason why they have to put everything on this side of 4004 is because Adam is the beginning of their story. And according to James Ussher, a bishop of the Roman Catholic Church, Adam was created, or the Genesis 1:1 dates back to 4004 BC. Which means, according to their story, all this that's out here is no older than what? 6,009 years old, right? Come on, man. Give me a break. Okay, let's get to some evidence here now. You saw the literature that was instrumental in turning my life around. That one book, I said, this is so, I got to do some more reading, I got to do some more research. And then the reading was insufficient. I said, okay, I see all this. Now I need to go to Egypt. I need to go see for myself what is. Now, here's the thing I want y'all. I don't know how many of y'all have ever heard of Jerusalem before.
Hebrew,
How many of y'all ever heard of the footsteps where Jesus walked? And Calvary's Hill and all this kind of stuff. And when you go to church, every Baptist preacher must conclude his message with a trip to Calvary. Gotta get you to Calvary. If you go to Jerusalem right now, there's not one pebble in Jerusalem, not one stone of a temple called Solomon's Temple. There's not one stone of any tomb mentioned in the Bible. When you go over there, you know what they'll say to you? They'll say, it is believed that this was the place of the tomb of Joseph of Arimathea where they laid Jesus. It is believed. When you go over there, they'll say, it is believed that this was the road that led to Golgotha's Hill. It is believed. Guess what, y'all? I do not have to say it is believed that this is the bent pyramid of Sneferu. Can I get it off there? We standing there looking at it. That's the brother over there, he and I. We're standing there looking at this thing in awe. Now, many times I've been there, I can't help it. When I stand in front of this thing, I get in awe all over again. Now, see, we're standing back looking at this. It doesn't look that big because we're kind of far back from it. This is the bent pyramid of Sneferu. On the Giza Plateau, you got 3 pyramids. You'll see them. This is the father, granddaddy of those 3 pharaohs. There's an example of how big each block is in this pyramid. That's the corner there. That sister from New Jersey who said, I made it! You know, it's one thing to look at the Discovery Channel and see this stuff. It's another thing to go there and touch it for yourself. Now, the deep thing is you saw an imperfect pyramid. The Egyptians were very, very particular about things. When Sneferu saw that the pyramid was bent, that's why it's called, he made them build him another one. And that's this one back here. The perfect pyramid of Sneferu. And here we are getting ready to climb into it. Y'all, I'm telling you, I can stand here for the next week and not transmit to you the essence of this experience. Here's where we climb up these steps into that entrance right there. Here you see Minister Eldridge going down the shaft of that pyramid. You see how smart? You just got to bend over to get down in it, right? Here's the deep thing, people. Down inside the womb of this pyramid. Now, can y'all see these little circles here? Look like little water spots. I thought there was something wrong with the lens of my camera. I can't explain this to you until people start sharing their photos with me. And everybody's photos that I have of the inside of this pyramid, those little spots are on their lens or on their photos as well. See them? Okay? See them? I can't tell you what it is. It's almost like, man, you know, one kind of things, because when you step, it's the same camera. When I go to other photos, you won't see them. Here they are again. Don't pay no attention to my stomach there, okay? We finally came up out of the thing. No spots. Everybody's camera, same thing. Is it possible? Is it just possible That when we were down there calling, see, we got down in there and we started saying, "All ancestors, black of a thousand midnights." Man, this next site that we went to is called the Tomb of Mereruka in the city of Sakata. Now, this is some deep stuff, y'all. I want y'all to see something here. That sign right there says no photo. I don't know how many of y'all remember when I came back a few years ago, I said, brothers and sisters, go get the evidence while you can. Yes. Because now you can't take any pictures in there at all. Why not? Because the evidence is in that tomb. Evidence that they don't want the world to see. Here's entering the tomb. Now, for those brothers of the craft, I got any here. This brother got on something called an apron. Got on an apron. He has the Tyler's implement of his office there in his hand. Mereruka. Here he is. This is what they don't want you to take a picture of. Why is that? Because if you take a picture of this, you can come back and show the whole world that masonry is here. It didn't begin in 1717 with some white folk in England. Now you see why they're stopping you from taking pictures there. There he is, Mereruka, Grand Master. Here he is, playing chess. They stole that too. Here it is, fishing. Now, this is just a close-up picture of them fishing here. But if you pull back on the lens, you see all up here other boats that are coming over to help these men pull these fish into their boat. If you turn to your Bibles, you'll see where that was copied to. Because they told Jesus, launch out into the deep and throw in your net for a draught. And the Bible says they caught so many fish that they had to call the other boats over. That's where they stole it from, right here in the temple of Mereruka. That's why they don't want you to take the pictures. What does Luke 15, 3 through 6 say? Check this out, y'all.
And he spake this parable unto them, saying.
And he spake this parable unto them, saying.
What man of you
having
100 sheep?
100 sheep.
If he lose one of them.
If he lose one of them.
Does not leave the 99.
Don't leave the 99.
In the wilderness.
In the wilderness. Go after that one.
Which is lost.
Until he finds it. And what happens?
And when he had found it.
And when he had found it, what does he do?
He laid it on his shoulders.
He lays it on his shoulders. Rejoicing.
And when he cometh home, he called together.
You got it? That's fine. That's where this comes from. Got it? That's their story right there. Little sheep on his shoulders. But the problem is Jesus didn't teach that parable. Y'all know why? He didn't exist to teach that parable. So where did that story come from? The tomb of Mereruka. Mereruka, but it was sheep. It was his calf. You see, the cow is very important in Egypt. His calf strayed away and got lost. So Mereruka left and went and found that one little calf that strayed away. And when he found it, there it is, y'all. That's not a picture. That's the wall. He left there and went to the first Grand Lodge on the planet. The step pyramid of Sakata, known as the Pyramid of Zoser, Neterket. on this planet dates back way before anything you want to find in the biblical account. What's really deep about it is they stole this too and put it in the Bible. In the book of Genesis, the 11th chapter, it says, and the whole earth was of one language and of one speech. And God came down to see the tower which the children of men built. And it says in the 11th chapter of Genesis that God saw that the people were one.
And this shit like that, that's just weird. Like, God came down to see the tower. If you're God, why do you have to come down to see it? Can't you just see it from heaven? What are you doing? Like, you have to physically come down here to the planet? How long does it take you to get here, God? Do you really have to travel? Is it like interdimensional travel, or is it just like regular space-time where, you know, heaven is, you know, just like a trillion light years away, but you can just travel real fast and get here to see the tower and then, you know, just turn around and go back to heaven? It's, I don't know.
They were one. They were in union with each other. And it says, and God said among himself, supposedly whoever that was, let us go down there and confound their speech so they can't understand each other when they talk. Because we don't confound their speech, nothing that they attempt to do will be stopped from them. Talking about the unity of African empowerment. This is the tower that the children of men built. We went to the back side of it and we saw this little opening. And it's deep because it's like the ancestor Zoser never checked. So y'all come close. Come close and look in here so you can get a good look at me. You look down in there and you see Zoser looking right back at you. That's the evidence, y'all. The verdict is in. I don't have to stand here and say, this is where it is believed this is where Zoser was. She left there and went to the city of Menepher. This is the Ramesseum in the city of Menepher. And inside the Ramesseum, you see a 15-ton statue, one solid piece of stone of Ursa Ma'at Ra Setepen Ra Ra Metsu Meriam. I'm feeling this thing talking about it. And anyone who went with me, I know you're feeling it too. This thing is awesome. Now let me tell you what's so awesome about this. All over Kemet, from the mouth of the Nile all the way down to from the opening of the Nile to the up south to the mouth of the Nile. All you see is statues of Ramses II. That's what the Greeks call it. The Africans know him as Ursa Ma'at Ra Setepen. Come on, let me show you how to say it. Say Ursa Ma'at Ra Setepen Ra Rametsu Meriamen. That's his name. And all over Kemet, this great pharaoh, statues of him everywhere, temples for him everywhere, because he was an awesome African king. The Bible made him a bad man. This is the pharaoh that supposedly held the Hebrews in bondage. This is supposedly the pharaoh that God sent Moses to, who didn't exist either, to tell him, let my people go. Look at this. They still love this man. Here you have a man standing there, and if you were that guy right there standing next to this and made a right face, this is what you'd see. I mean, just his face would be so massive right in front of you. One solid piece of stone, and look at the detail. Look at the detail. Over in the corner, there was a statue of the Twa. That's the lower torso of the Twa. The white man calls them pygmies. Now, once you understand who the Twa was, you get big respect for them, brother. You don't laugh at them. You don't call them little midget and laugh at them. You understand that all of the knowledge that the earth has came from these people. Yes, yes.
Imagine if every time you swiped your debit or credit card, you were setting aside money. And
the triad of Menepher, Ptah, Sekhmet, and Nefertum. You can tell how old it is. Look how worn it is. There's Ursa Ma'at Tepen Ra, Ramet Meriam at the city of Menepher, standing with his left foot forward. And you'll see that all over Kemet. Why is the left foot forward? Because on the side of the heart is to tramp down evil. Yes. The military copied this. Yes. When the military gets ready to march, they say, march! And what foot do you step off on, soldier Marines? Left foot. And they call, yo, left. I left. There it is. One solid piece of stone, granite stone, Sphinx of Ursa Ma'at Rasa Tepen Ra. This man is loved even to this day by another culture called Arabs. There's me and Brother Sharon standing there talking about an awesome sight right in front of us. The greatest and largest structure on this planet, right there. The Pyramid of Khufu, the Great Pyramid on the Giza Plateau. You got to kind of stand back from it to get an idea of what it looks like. Because you get up real close, that's Sarge Russell over there. Valerie Thomas, they climbed up on it. Are y'all here? Wave your hand, say something. Did you climb up on it? Look at our people. There's Brother Brady over there. Elijah climbed up on it. See, and this is some deep stuff, because see, when people look at them and say, like some fool said to me one day, ain't no pyramids over there. And you done stood on it, you don't even talk to that person. You don't even speak to that person. You understand what I'm saying? When a person says something like that and you stood on it, you just say, like we got, there's just none so blind as he who will not see. This is Minister Mitchell and a brother that was there on the Giza Plateau. Why did we take this picture? Because he was the only black man that we saw in Cairo. Y'all hear what I'm saying? In Africa. The only black man we saw. Everybody else were Arabs and French and British and behind the pyramid, you have the house which Khufu's boat is in, and of course that's Khufu's boat. This is called the New Ankh, which became in the Bible Noah's Ark. Y'all hear what I'm saying? Cities are named after this, called New Ark, like Newark, New Jersey. This is the second pyramid on the Giza Plateau, and you see at the top there's still some limestone up there. Our tour guide was careful to let us know that his people took limestone from the mountains to build the pyramids. I didn't want to embarrass him too bad in front of our group, but I pulled him to the side and let him know, your people defaced the pyramid. Y'all wasn't even here when the pyramids were built. Okay? The Arabs are the ones who chiseled all of that limestone off of the pyramids so that they could build their mosques around Cairo. Once you stand there, people, once you get the energy that's still there, can I get a witness? Yeah. Those who make it, the energy is still there. I mean, this ain't some past stuff I'm talking. Okay, it's still there. As much as they're trying to commercialize it, as much as they're trying to turn it into a tourist attraction to make money, the energy of our black African ancestors is still present. The reason why I'm standing there on the plateau with the pyramids behind me is because here you see from the sky an aerial shot of the 3 pyramids on the Giza Plateau. Okay? Up in the sky, there's a constellation called Orion. Okay? Those are the 3 stars of Orion.
He's going into some basic. That's like some very basic stuff. It was kind of good in the beginning, but
Orion's belt. Because they're cleansing all of this blackness out of Tim. Look at that, y'all. That's called hair. In the
You are watching Cold Fusion TV. When I'm gonna get home tonight.
Hi, welcome to another Cold Fusion video. The future is now. Just in my last video, we talked about researchers are making people speak again, move limbs again, and even walk again after injecting adult stem cells directly into the brain. In this video, we'll be talking about going to Mars. From Doom to The Martian and Total Recall, it's been the stuff of science fiction for the longest time. But now, going to the Red Planet is getting some serious thought by Elon Musk. So what exactly is going on? Elon Musk just announced his plans to begin colonizing Mars. He proposes that he could have humans on Mars by 2024 and use the same tech to get people to travel anywhere around the world in under 1 hour. This is all going to be done using a spacecraft codenamed the BFR. In a presentation at the International Astronautical Congress in Adelaide, Australia, Musk outlined his plan. It's not the first time that he's talked about Mars. His first public interest in the Red Planet was expressed back in 2001, and last year he claimed that 1 million people could be on Mars by the 2060s. This latest announcement was more of a fine-tuning of that plan. So here's the rundown. The BFR will stand 100 meters tall with 31 engines to lift a payload of more than 4,000 tons into space. Each of these engines will have multiple redundancies built in an attempt to bring the probability of failure towards 0. The BFR is slightly larger than a Saturn V rocket, which propelled astronauts to the moon during the Apollo missions. To give you an idea, it can carry a cargo payload with a living space that's 8 stories tall and holds more volume than an Airbus A380's passenger cabin. It also has a fin so that it could be more easily controllable in any atmosphere that it comes across. The payload section, or the part that's the interplanetary ship, will be 48 meters long and feature 40 cabins, each capable of carrying 3 people. Despite this, Musk claims that the overall cost will be much cheaper than other launch vehicles currently available because it can safely return to Earth and be reused. He gave the example of throwing away a $2 million Cessna light aircraft after every one-way trip, instead of investing in a large passenger jet and footing the bill for a $500,000 return trip. The point being that although the initial capital is higher, in the long run, the jet will turn out to be much cheaper.
In one case, you have to build an entire aircraft. In the other case, you just have to refuel something. So it's really crazy that we build these sophisticated rockets and then crash them every time we fly. This is mad.
Musk believes that he could send 2 BFR cargo ships to Mars by 2022, with the first 2 crewed crafts touching down just 2 years later. In the presentation, he went on to talk about how the BFR could be used in other ways. For example, the same technology could fly people anywhere in the world in less than 1 hour, potentially revolutionizing global transportation, with passengers paying essentially the same as they do now for a commercial airline ticket. Another use for the BFR was to help build an outpost on the moon.
And it's 2017. I mean, we should have a lunar base by now. What the hell's going on?
Another brief suggestion was space services. This includes launching many satellites at once, or just one large satellite with a surface area 10 times that of the Hubble Space Telescope without a need for a complex unfolding procedure once released. This is possible due to the large cargo area. Taking the idea further, old satellites and space debris could be collected at much lower costs. Construction of the BFR is set to start in 2018, and the machinery for building the engines has already been ordered and is on its way. The end goal is to have as many as 1,000 ships in a holding pattern in orbit around Earth. Then every 26 months or so, when Earth and Mars are aligned, the ships would unravel their solar panels and leave for Mars. The journey would last 3 to 6 months, and human cargo and supplies will be dropped off every trip. So a lot of people are doubtful as if this timeline is realistic or even possible. Elon's company, SpaceX, has been late on their promise for the Falcon Heavy rocket by at least 5 years, but still, some experts are hopeful. Bobby Braun, NASA's former chief technologist, states, quote, "While the timeline and capabilities are certainly ambitious, I'm bullish on the US industry's ability to carry out challenging and far-reaching goals. It's great to see the private sector lead in this way, and I hope we see more of it." End quote. It's not just building the rocket though. Landing humans on Mars will be one of the biggest technical undertakings of all time. That being said, the company has beaten the odds before, the main example being reusable rocket boosters. As for paying for the project, Musk's plan is as follows. SpaceX will build a stockpile of the older Falcon 9 and Dragon capsules and sell as many rides to space as possible for cargo missions. The revenue from launching satellites and servicing the space station will go towards the BFR, which the company will now focus its attention on. As it stands right now, by human standards, Mars will kill you. It has unbreathable air, and most of its water is within subsurface ice deposits. There's certainly a lot of work ahead to make this a reality, but it seems like it just could be possible. A 2016 paper by NASA detailed exactly how to enable a Mars colony from their data received by the Mars rovers. According to NASA, quote, "The currently known resources on Mars are massive, including extensive quantities of water and carbon dioxide, therefore carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen for life support, fuels, and plastics, and much else. Recent technologies combined with the vast natural resources should enable serious pre- and post-human arrival." End quote. This all seems like a very long shot, but not so long ago, air travel was thought not to be possible. So I'm interested to know what you guys think. Do you think this is going to be possible, or do you think unforeseen challenges will cripple the project? For me personally, I think the BFR is a pretty good idea, a standardized rocket to carry out many space services, and I think at least that part of the plan will go ahead. So let's close out this video with some images of the alien planet in HD glory, brought to us by NASA and the Mars rovers. This has been Dagogo. You've been watching Cold Fusion. If you've just stumbled across this channel, feel free to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and let's see what the future holds.
Cold Fusion. It's new thinking.
So what do you guys think? Would you live on Mars, yo? Would you be willing to volunteer if they ask for citizen volunteers for the first manned mission to the red planet? That shit's just crazy. But all this shit is right. It's literally right around the corner. We've been in the information and digital age for 10 years now. And so we're on the verge of the artificial intelligence age. And then once they've created a true artificial intelligence that can think very similar to a human and process information and data, on an exponential scale, then these AIs will be able to figure out some of the problems that we can't, such as new fuel systems or propellants in themselves, or different ways to travel, to make travel easier, how to compose new composite materials that's lighter and more durable for space travel and different things like this. So once they've perfected this AI technology, and then AI is able to help advance scientific studies, then what they're predicting, it seems very, very capable, by 2060. If you think about it, it's not that far away. It's like, what the fuck? Like, next 50 years, yeah. Trap lives matter. I've already painted her nude before, so been there, done that. So what's next? Paint her nude with smaller nipples. These guys, I never get these type guys, like all the free internet porn you could ever want. But then you come in here and see some dude just trying to make some art, and it's like, paint her naked. Yeah, with smaller boobs. Yeah, man. That's what I want to see. Yeah, I think I'd rather go to Mars too. Just let me get the fuck away from here. What are we gonna do? We're gonna go terraform our planet? I'm down with that shit, yo. I'm down with that. Let's go terraform the shit out of this Mars planet. Maybe. Maybe. Alright, what's next? Let the phone go off. Shit. What's next? Some more of this future tech talk. That shit is fucking crazy, son. That shit is fucking bananas, son. Yeah, I'm hungry. Shit. I got the munchies. What can I snack on though? I think I done ate all my snacks, y'all. I gotta go grab some snacks tomorrow. Oh, I got some
QuickBooks Self-Employed app allows me to take a photo of my receipts.
Yeah.
Easily into the from the tanker to the ship. So going to rocket capability. This gives you sort of a rough sense of rocket capability, starting off at the low end with the Falcon 1 at a half ton, and then going up to BFR at 150. So I think it's important to note that BFR has more capability than Saturn V, even with full reusability. But here's the really important fundamental point. Let's look at the launch cost. The order reverses.
It's amazing. It's amazing, dude. You're fucking genius.
No, at first glance, this may seem ridiculous, but it's not. The same is true of aircraft. If you bought, say, a small single-engine turboprop aircraft, that would be $1.5 to $2 million. To charter a 747 from California to Australia is $500,000 there and back. The single-engine turboprop can't even get to Australia. So a fully reusable system, a fully reusable giant aircraft like a 747 costs a third as much as an expendable tiny aircraft. And in one case, you have to build an entire aircraft. In the other case, you just have to refuel something. So it's really crazy that we build these sophisticated rockets and then crash them every time we fly. This is mad. I can't emphasize how profound this is and how important reusability is. And often I'll be told, but you could get more payload if you made it expendable. I say, yes, you could also get more payload from an aircraft if you got rid of the landing gear and the flaps and just parachute it out when you got to your destination. But that would be crazy, and you would sell 0 aircraft. So reusability is absolutely fundamental. Now I want to talk about the value of orbital refilling. This is also extremely important. So if you just fly BFR to orbit and don't do any refilling, it's pretty good. You'll get 150 tons to low Earth orbit and have no fuel to go anywhere else. However, if you send up tankers and refill in orbit, you can refill the tanks all the way to the top and get 150 tons all the way to Mars. And if the tanker has high reuse capability, then you're just paying for the cost of propellant. And the cost of oxygen is extremely low, and the cost of methane is extremely low. So if that's all you're dealing with, the cost of refilling your spaceship on orbit is tiny, and you can get 150 tons all the way to Mars. So automated rendezvous and docking and refilling, absolutely fundamental. So then getting back to the question of how do we pay for this system, this is really, I said, quite a profound, I wouldn't call it a breakthrough, but realization that if we can build a system that cannibalizes our own products, makes our own products redundant, then all of the resources, which are quite enormous, that are used for Falcon 9 Heavy and Dragon, can be applied to one system. Some of our customers are conservative, and they want to see BFR fly several times before they're comfortable launching on it. So what we plan to do is to build ahead and have a stock of Falcon 9 and Dragon vehicles, so that customers can be comfortable. If they want to use the old rocket, the old spacecraft, they can do that, because we'll have a bunch in stock. But all of our resources will then turn towards building BFR. And we believe that we can do this with the revenue that we receive for launching satellites, and for servicing the space station. So going to the satellites portion, the size of this being a 9-meter diameter vehicle is a huge enabler for new satellites. We can actually send something that is almost 9 meters in diameter to orbit. So for example, if you want to do a new Hubble, you could send a mirror that has 10 times the surface area of the current Hubble as a single unit. It doesn't have to unfold or anything. And or you can send a large number of small satellites. You can do whatever you like. You can actually also go around and, if you wanted to collect old satellites or clean up space debris, you can just use the sort of tromper over there, and go around and collect satellites or collect space debris if you want. So that may be something we have to do in the future. But that fairing would open up and retract and come back down. So it enables launching of Earth satellites that are significantly larger than anything we've done before, or significantly more satellites at a time than anything that's been done before. It's also intended to be able to service the space station. I know it looks a little big relative to the space station, but the shuttle also looked big, so it'll work. It looks a little outsized, but it'll work. So it'll be capable of doing what Dragon does today in terms of transporting cargo, and what Dragon 2 will do in terms of transporting crew and cargo. So do the space station servicing. It can also go obviously much further than that, like, for example, the moon. Based on the calculations we've done, we can actually do lunar surface missions with no propellant production on the surface of the moon. So if we do a high elliptic parking orbit for the ship and retank in a high elliptic orbit, we can go all the way to the moon and back with no local propellant production on the moon. So I think that would enable the creation of Moon Base Alpha, or some sort of lunar base. Yeah, it's quite captivating. So you can also see, for example, how do you transfer cargo from the cargo bay down to the ground is a crane. It's not very complicated. Yeah, but so this will enable the creation of a lunar base. And it's 2017. I mean, we should have a lunar base by now. What the hell's going on?
If you're self-employed, you're probably keeping track of the miles you drive so you can write them off on your taxes. If you're using pen and paper or...
And then, of course, Mars, becoming a multi-planet species. Beats the hell out of being a single-planet species. So, yeah, so we'd start off by sending a mission to Mars, where it would be obviously just landing on rocky ground or dusty ground. And it's the same approach that I mentioned before, which is you send the spaceship up to orbit, you retank it or refill it until it has full tanks, and it travels to Mars, lands on Mars. For Mars, you will need local propellant production, but Mars has a CO2 atmosphere and plenty of water ice that gives you CO2 and H2O. So you can make therefore CH4 and O2 using the Sabatier process, or some probably Sabatier process. And I should mention that long term, this can also be done on Earth. So sometimes I get some sort of criticism for why are you using combustion in rockets and you have electric cars? I'm like, well, there isn't some way to make an electric rocket. I wish there was. But in the long term, you can use solar power to extract CO2 from the atmosphere, combine it with water, and produce fuel and oxygen for the rocket. So the same thing that we would do on Mars, we could do on Earth in the long term. But that's essentially what happens. Similar to the moon, you land on Mars. But the tricky thing with Mars is we do need to build a propellant depot to refill the tanks and return to Earth. But because Mars has lower gravity than Earth, you do not need a booster. So you can go all the way from the surface of Mars to the surface of Earth just using the ship. Albeit you need to go to a max payload number of about 20 to 50 tons for the return journey to work. But it's a single stage all the way back to Earth. And I'll show you so this is the true physics simulation. This will last about a minute. So you come in, you're entering very quickly, going 7.5 kilometers a second. For Mars, there will be some ablation of the heat shield. So it's just like a sort of brake pad wearing away. It is a multi-use heat shield, but unlike for Earth operations, it's coming in hot enough that you will see some wear of the heat shield. But because Mars has an atmosphere, albeit not a particularly dense one, you can remove almost all the energy aerodynamically. And we've proven out supersonic retropropulsion many times with Falcon 9, so we feel very comfortable about that. This is because it's sort of, you can see sort of a mesh system. It's not meant to be sort of particularly pretty because it's just trying to simulate the physics of it. But the size of the cone gives you a rough approximation for how much thrust the engines are producing. That's not a typo. Although it is aspirational. So we've already started building the system. The tooling for the main tanks has been ordered. The facility is being built. We will start construction of the first ship around the second quarter of next year, so in about 6 to 9 months, we should start building the first ship. I feel fairly confident that we can complete the ship and be ready for a launch in about 5 years. 5 years seems like a long time to me. The area under the curve of resources over that period of time should enable this time frame to be met. But if not this time frame, I think pretty soon thereafter. But that's our goal, is to try to make the 2022 Mars rendezvous. The Earth-Mars synchronization happens roughly every 2 years. So every 2 years, there's an opportunity for to fly to Mars. So then in 2024, we want to try to fly 4 ships, 2 of which would be crewed, and 2 cargo and 2 crew. The goal of these initial missions is to find the best source of water That's for the first mission. And then the second mission, the goal is to build the propellant plant. So we should, particularly with 6 ships there, have plenty of landed mass to construct the propellant depot, which will consist of a large array of solar panels, very large array, and then everything necessary to mine and refine water, and then draw the CO2 out of the atmosphere, and then create and store deep cryo CH4 and O2. Then build up the base, starting mostly with one ship, then multiple ships, then start building out the city, then making the city bigger, and even bigger. And over time, terraforming Mars and making it really a nice place to be. Thanks. Give me a... I think that's quite a beautiful picture. And on the prior slide, it's interesting to know that on Mars, dawn and dusk are blue, and it's the sky. So the sky is blue in dawn and dusk, and red during the day. It's the opposite of Earth. And but there's something else. If you build a ship that's capable of going to Mars, what if you take that same ship and go from one place to another on Earth? So we looked at that, and the results are quite interesting. Let's take a look at that. Mountain. So the great thing about going to space is there's no friction. So once you're out of the atmosphere, you will go. It was smooth as silk, no turbulence, nothing. There's no weather. There's no atmosphere, and you can get to most long distance places, like I said, in less than half an hour. And if we're building this thing to go to the Moon and Mars, then why not go to other places on Earth as well? All right, thank you.
When it's time to move to another planet, Mars is right next door.
All right, so do you guys think this time frame is realistic? 2026 to actually have a couple people already on Mars and setting up mining facilities to build refueling stations so that you can have a continuous flow of people, personnel, labor, and building material and resources going to and from Mars? That shit sounds crazy, son. You know what I'm saying? Because if with good health and, you know what I'm saying, and longevity, I'll be around. I'll be getting old and shit, but hell, that shit is like, in my lifetime, we're gonna be like fucking Will Robinson, Lost in Space, danger. That shit is fucking crazy, son. Alright, 2.5 hours. Shit, that shit went by fast as hell. And all I did was just little sections in the background, just trying to blend some of those colors in, getting the shadows to look a little more realistic and fall more evenly. So yeah, so now I have this section of cabinets back here to work on, and then this lower part where the stove and this bottom set of cabinets are here. And then I'll start adding the third layer to their skin tones and stuff after that. But I'm off tomorrow, so I'll get up in here early in the morning and get right back on this piece right here. It's a little, I would say it's about halfway done now. But once you get to that halfway part, like the rest of it goes a little bit faster. Oh, man. It's almost midnight. I think I'm on. Oh, I ain't even toned that canvas. I gotta get some paint on that canvas. But I think I'm about to go grab me some snacks or something and play some video games for like an hour or so, and then take my ass to bed so that I can get up early in the morning. But yeah, guys, appreciate everybody stopping in and chilling with me. So alibi, yeah. But yeah, thanks for chilling with me on checking out my art. I got a couple new followers on Instagram and a couple new subscribers. If this is your first time in the stream, definitely subscribe to the channel and hit the notification button so that you know as soon as I'm in here starting the stream again. Lofton, what's up, yo? Yeah, there's a lot of new people that I've seen in here this evening. So yeah, so my social media sites are Paintings by the Prince. My name is actually Prince, and I make paintings. So if you want to find me on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, and DeviantArt, you can look me up at Paintings by the Prince. You can check out all of my art up there, and definitely subscribe to the channel. And like I said, hit the notification button because I'll be back in here early in the morning. You guys can pick up and have some breakfast and some art and education breakfast, you know. Yeah, I do a lot of commissions. When I sell my own art, you know, it costs a pretty penny. But in the past couple of years, I have been doing pretty good with this stuff. So I just try to keep at it. It's not all about selling the art though. Actually, you know, I just want to produce beautiful art for black people. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't see enough of ourselves in fine art, you know, in art galleries, in museums and stuff. So selling it is great. You know what I'm saying? If I don't sell it, oh well. As long as, you know, I can hopefully inspire somebody through my art, through the images and messages and concepts that I try to put in my art. That's what matters most to me. You know what I'm saying? That shit is worth way more than money. I've gotten messages from people that is really fucking heartwarming and touching, and motivational and inspirational just by them seeing my art and my art having an impact on them personally, you know. And that shit is what I fucking work for. That shit is my goal, is to impact people and have some type of emotional effect, or you know, just to bring up certain topics or to make people think about certain shit, you know. So selling art, yeah, I can sell art. I can you know, do pop art, and I can, you know, paint Cardi B and all these motherfuckers like that, or paint a bunch of basketball players and shit like that, and sell it really cheap, and you know, make more business. But I rather do my own thing the way I do it, you know. Where'd I get the shirt? What is that? Spencer's? Is it not Spencer's, or is it the other place? Oh, I forgot that little shop, yo. Damn. What is the name of the other little shop, yo? It might have been Spencer's, yo. I got a couple Walking Dead shirts, yo. This is the only TV show I watch, yo. So I gotta represent for my TV show. You can't fuck with Rick Grimes, yo. If you guys are gonna be up for a little bit longer, I don't know how many of you are into gaming or, you know, video games and shit, but I'm gonna go downstairs and turn on the other PlayStation, and I'll probably stream like some gameplay for a little while. I fucking suck at games, but I still like to play them. Smokey Bad, Snoop Lion. Oh yeah, the Walking Dead shirts. Shit, I got a couple of these shits, yeah. Man, yo, the season is crazy. I painted Michonne one time. And once again, I really don't do pop art, because everybody does it, you know, like there's hundreds and thousands of paintings of all the characters from The Walking Dead, so I don't want to like do the same shit that everybody else does. But I love the show so much. Yes, I actually painted a picture of Michonne one time, but that was it, you know. I don't really like doing that shit, but yeah. It's like, oh, paint Tupac or paint Bob Marley. Why? Everybody's done it. I want to do something nobody's done yet. Like, can I do my own shit? Can I do some new shit? Can I be original? Oh, it's not okay to be original? Shit. I guess I gotta paint a picture of Biggie Smalls then. Come on, man. Like, it's crazy. I like originality. That's why I paint just everyday people. You know what I'm saying? Me, you, my niece, my homies. We special too. Shit, I'm just as special as Tupac. You know what I'm saying? I'm just as cool as Bob Marley. You know what I'm saying? That shit, we all got our own unique qualities about us that make us who we are, yo. I like to see that shit in everybody. Yeah. Gotta paint a picture of Biggie Smalls, I guess. I gotta do the same shit everybody else doing. Damn. That shit is ridiculous, yeah. Soon as Prince died, like, 1,000,000 paintings of Prince just started popping out of nowhere. Motherfuckers painting Prince on the back of jackets. They painting Prince on some Air Force Ones. They painting Prince on the side of a building. And then somebody said, yo, Trap, yo, you should paint a picture of Prince. Why? Everybody's fucking doing that shit. Like, I'm just painting a picture of Prince too, because everybody else painting a picture of Prince. Because he dead now. Like, that shit don't even seem right. Like, what the fuck, yo? Yeah, I've donated pieces to auctions for fundraisers for the gallery itself. You know, once a year, our gallery does have auctions, and one time I did donate a piece. I priced it at $800. It sold for $160, and I was like, ah, ah, never again auction, never again auction. Ah, you sold that shit for 160. Ah, ow. You know, so you kind of shared on Amazon. All right. You know what I'm saying? So the silent auctions are like, and I know it's for a good cause, and you know and it's people who are, they know what they're doing. They're really, their money is going towards whatever the auction is for. And so first of all, it's like a $25 ticket just to get into the fucking auction, and then they want a donation, and then you gotta actually buy a piece of art. So you know you're gonna come out of your pocket trying to support the arts. So I understand, but still, like, damn, yo, never again, yo. And one of my mentors told me the same thing. He was like, yo, don't put your shit in auctions, yo. Now, unless you got that name like that, and it's an auction where they motherfucking millionaires bidding on shit. He was like, don't do that shit, because you're going to undersell your art, and motherfuckers going to try to pinpoint a price to keep your art at. Like, oh, well, such and such brought a Travis Prince original for $160. I'm not going to pay $400 or $500 for, like, nah, get the fuck out of here, yo. Nobody set my prices for me ever again. What size is this shirt? Let's see. What size is this? Let's see a tag. This is a small. Because small shirts make me look bigger. I'm actually a very teeny guy. Mr. L, what's up? Yeah, I wear small and medium shirts. Schmedium. I guess I'll finish this since we're just talking. You know, I did take a break from that. But I am going to go play a game. And, like, as soon as I finish this. I'm almost at 3 hours. Pow. Mr. L. Yeah, mediums. Ain't shit, bro. Same old shit. You know, consistency. Try not to change too much. Not unless it's absolutely necessary. And then if I do change, that shit better be for my own personal growth. Other than that, man, I just try to make this art. Try to stay below the radar. You know what I'm saying? Chill with y'all motherfuckers, man. Keep that shit simple. I done did a lot of complicated shit. Don't too much ever change with me, which is a good thing, you know. It's a good thing. I ain't complaining. Shit was new with you, bro. Shit. I ain't complaining about shit. ahead, turn this laptop off. About to go get on that Ghost Recon Wildlands for like an hour or so. Get my ass smacked on there, cause man, them dudes on that Ghost Recon now, man, and everybody's like fucking prestige level 4 and 5 and shit. Carl, go inside the house, Carl. Carl. Come on, kid. Take the patch off, man. Let me see it, man. Ooh, damn, that shit is looking rough, man. Oh, you about to cry? Oh, little dude, look, man, I ain't meant to make you cry, man. That is badass. They shot my son. God, is he gonna live? Tell me, please. Tell me he's gonna live. Yeah. Hey, Carl grew up on that show, man. 8 years, yo. That motherfucker went from like 8 to 16 on that shit. Yeah, that shit is crazy, yo. Nah, me and Galaxy having our little own inside joke, yo. You know what I'm saying? Carl. Here's your hat, kid. And look, your son tried to kill me, and I brought him home safe and sound. I even fed him spaghetti. Yo, yeah, you look crazy with that one eye, yo. When you take that fucking patch off, it's like, yo, motherfucker look crazy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that shit is fucking shit, yo. The kid was handing over the gun, but he was with them. You don't know. Carl fucking shot that kid. Hey, ever since Carl shot that kid in the woods, I was like, yo, this little motherfucker is problems, yo. And that's crazy. Like, I think like they should do a spinoff, yo. Like, let's say 10 or 15 years in the future, and you know, Carl is now the leader of his own group. You know, everybody he's known is already dead, gone, zombified and shit. It's just probably him and his sister, you know what I'm saying, on some other shit, and come up with a whole storyline for Carl as an adult. That shit would be crazy. I think Carol and the King, man. Hey, the King might get that, yo. Carl hit what the little girl name is, man. He got his little girlfriend. He done saved her life a couple times, man. She gonna cave in. Oh, yeah, cause the P lets you know what the world is. That's like life. Like once you feel life is like, oh, like the forbidden fruit of the tree, like, oh shit, I'm naked. Like once you get that, it's like, oh shit, I'm a fucking man. This is what it means to be a man. Motherfucker, yeah, he can be hard at his daddy, there you go. That motherfucker, yo, had to kill his mom and then cut his little sister out his mom. It's gangster. That's gangster, yo. You know what I'm saying? That's what I try to tell my son, man. My son at that age where he already cares, I'm like, don't do it, bruh. Because you're going to mess yourself up. That's all it is. You lose focus on everything. Wait till you're older, please, at least just till you get out of high school. You might seem whack or the corny dude or whatever, but plenty of time for that shit, bruh. As soon as you think you a man, you're going to lose focus. And that shit ain't good. Yeah, cutting the baby out, killing his mom. Yo, Carl, crazy. Yo, that motherfucker done been through some shit. And he ain't never really break down, like, so far. Mentally, has he ever really breaking down? Motherfucker done got shot in the stomach. Bounce back from that shit like it ain't shit. Got shot in the face, lost an eye. He just like, keep it covered. Don't look at that shit, yo. You know what I'm saying? It's ugly. Don't really let that shit fuck with him. That shit crazy. That's why I say, man, have his own spinoff as an adult. Yo, Carl is a hard motherfucker, yo. Holy shit, a tiger. Yo, let me go get on the game, yo. I'm about to go downstairs, yo. If y'all still with a chill, man, damn, on my phone doing that. I'm gonna stream from downstairs, yo. I'm about to go turn the other PlayStation on. Yeah. All right, yo. That's what it is, yo. I'm gonna see y'all in like 5 minutes, yo. All right, peace.